And the players about to come out here at the Stadium of Light. They'll be following the officials. Quick word on Ekitike, Dean Ashton. Florian Wirtz says he's a joy to play with. It's fun. How good is Ekitike in your opinion?
He's terrific. I think to come to Liverpool and start the way he has done, especially maybe taking a bit of a hit as well with them going and buying Alexander Isak and him having to sit on the bench having started so well, I think then shows his mentality to come back into the side. And to be honest, I think without him they really will have struggled for goals because everyone else has. It's only really been him that's really led the line in terms of goals this season in the Premier League.
Indeed, the two sets of players lined up out on the pitch. You're listening to Kickoff live on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus stream via internet. Terms apply. The handshakes are being done. The players will split off to their respective halves. And I'm going to give you the latest scores in the Premier League. Villa 0, Brighton 0 is live on the Talksport app. Palace 1, Burnley 0 is also live on the Talksport app. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0 already is live on Talk Radio, and Forest 0, Wolves 0 is live on Talksport 2. But let's get to the game here at the Stadium of Light. Wise men say, keep it on Talksport, where we've got more live football for you than anywhere else. That's why you can't help falling in love with the world's biggest sports radio station. Talksport taking you live to the Stadium of Light. We're ready to go. It's Sunderland against Liverpool. Here's your commentary team. Former England striker Dean Ashton alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a good evening to you. Well, you'd have got good odds at the beginning of the season that the last remaining unbeaten home record in the top three divisions would have been held at the Stadium of Light. The traditional struggles of the Championship playoff winner haven't blighted the Black Cats, who backed themselves in the transfer market, recruited superbly, and given their fans a right to remember. But whilst the Black Cats glory in their home form, Liverpool's travel sickness continues to be a problem. They've taken only 1 point away from Anfield against sides currently in the top 9, an alarming statistic that has played a major part in this failed title defence. 2025 will long be remembered. 2026 has only been memorable for the wrong reasons, so far at least. 7 league games in, 1 thumping league win, but little else. And even with ambitions recalibrated, that form has to improve rapidly. The game coming up next. First of all, though, another goal at Sellers Park for Alex Crook.
And another goal for £48 million, Jurgen Strand-Larsen. Palace 2, Burnley 0. Jefferson Lerma with a cross from the right-hand side. It's a diving header from Strand-Larsen into the bottom corner. He's looking for a hat-trick. Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 0.
Thanks, Crookie. Tonight, the first Premier League match ever played outside London that has no Englishman among the starting 22. It's Roofs in goal for Sunderland. Mukiel, Ballard, Alderete and Ranildo, Siddiqui and Lefay, Hume, Diarra, Angulo and Brobby for Liverpool. Alisson in goal, Endo, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch and McAllister, Salah, Wirtz and Gakpo and Ekitike. And on the benches for Sunderland, Elborg, Serkin, Katrauda, Talby and Rigg, Mayenda, O'Nien, Mundle and Isidore. For Liverpool, Mamadashvili, Gomez, Kirkes, Chiesa and Jones, Nioni, Ramsey, Morrison and Engamoa. Chris Kavanagh is the referee. He gets us underway. Liverpool, having won the toss, have turned Sunderland around. And so Sunderland kicking from left to right in this first half. Liverpool in their change kit, bottle green and white shorts. And losing possession and then winning it back straight away as it's poked out of play for a throw. Big night for Endo, Dean Ashton, playing at right back. Mentioned earlier, he makes a mistake straight away with the worst foul throw that you've seen probably over the course of this season. He just almost slipped forward and the ball was about 45 degrees past his head by the time he delivered it. But it is a big night for him playing at right back. Did it against Karabakh. Did it relatively extensively in his time playing in Japan before he moved to Europe, but hasn't really got too many miles on the clock recently in that position.
No, he should have used that towel that Hume just had hold of, but look, I'm sure he'll soon get over that, but it's a big night, you're right, exactly. And the new signing of Sunderland will try and take advantage.
And they got a corner straight away as the ball is driven in by Mukiel. And blocked and goes out of play for a corner. There is a beach ball in the crowd. This is the Darren Bent game where the ball struck a beach ball and wrong-footed Pepe Reina. It was inevitable that someone would be able to smuggle one in tonight. And it is just bobbing around over in the Jim Montgomery stand. Sunderland taking the first corner of the night, worked it short. Angulo back outside the penalty area for Trey Hume's delivery, which was actually a slightly miss-it cross as he looked to bend it in towards Brobby. That kept Allison honest. He made a couple of hasty steps to his left and was able to make the save. 0-0 in the early stages. Good start from Sunderland. Half-time at the City Ground. Forest with all the shots, but no way through. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, Forest 0, Wolves 0. 16 shots. Best chance, 6-on-1 counter. Lorenzo Luca with a wild finish into Rosed. Arakadare heading just wide for Wolves in a rare attack for them. It's live on Talksport 2. Forest 0, Wolves 0.
It's been brilliant Sunderland pressure in the early stages. They're just not allowing Liverpool the opportunity to play out at all. The press comes as soon as the ball is worked to Van Dijk. Sunderland go as one. They didn't create anything from that because the offside flag was up, but Liverpool already know how the game is going to be panning out.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll do that for sustained periods, but I think certainly to start with, and why not? Get this crowd still behind you to start with, lift the energy, keep it there with a bit of pressure is brilliant from the Sunderland players.
And they got a free kick of their own. It's just inside their own half. Off to the Etihad. What a first half for Manchester City. John Dunn.
Manchester City 3, Fulham 0. City ahead after 24 minutes. Semenyo prodding home after half an hour. It was 2. O'Reilly slammed home after a flowing City move. Haaland from the edge of the area made it 3. Wilson inches away from converting a Jimenez cross just before half-time. But in fairness, they have rarely threatened. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0.
Long free kick. Alisson comes out and punches it clear. It was delivered by Robin Roos from inside his own half. Alisson made a really early decision that he was going to command his penalty area, come out and smack that clear. It did exactly that, and it goes out of play for another Sunderland throw. Quick half-time details from Villa Park from Adam Bridge.
Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0. It was 11 years ago that Villa last failed to score in 3 in a row at home. They're up to 2.5 here, despite having the best chances. Couple of saves from Verbruggen, nothing to offer really from Brighton. Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0.
Yeah, 10 attempts for Villa in that first half, but only one shot on target. Sunderland with the majority of the early possession here on Weir side, having it in good areas as well. Liverpool have hardly had a touch of the ball inside Black Cats' territory so far. The ball just played back through Alderete, curved out towards the right-hand side. It was a poor pass that Siddiqui stood little chance of being able to get on, and now Liverpool will be able to get a touch of the ball in Sunderland territory as Robertson plays it behind square for Alexis McAllister. Van Dijk and Konate have both come forward. In fact, only Alisson inside his own half at the moment for Liverpool, with Alexis McAllister in possession. Virgil van Dijk has it. 4.5 minutes gone, and still 0-0. Another goal at Palace. Alex Crook.
And one back for Burnley. Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 1. This is a really good finish, right-footed. It flashed beyond Dean Henderson at his near post. Hannibal Medjbury is the scorer. Palace 2, Burnley 1.
First of the season for the Tunisian. The ball swept inside the Sunderland penalty area. And Roos punches it clear emphatically. And Alexis McAllister picks it up and goes back for Konate inside his own half. 5 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, and like I said, they wouldn't sustain that high pressure. Salah's trying to get in behind Reinildo.
He hasn't been able to do that. He has been able to get the ball and just backing into Reinildo for a moment. An excellent ball retention. Played it out towards Endo and then worked back towards Van Dijk.
And that's more like what we'll expect for a lot of the game, is Liverpool to have that possession.
Ekitike coming to meet a ball fired forward. Reinildo gets that clear. But again, Liverpool can come back with it with Florian Wirtz. Back from him to Ryan Gravenberch in the midfield. 1-1 when the two sides last met. Live on Talksport in the first week of December, when Shamsdeen Talbi gave Sunderland the lead and Mukiel put through his own net to make it 1-1. Liverpool bringing it forward here with Florian Wirtz win there. First corner of the night.
Yeah, it was lovely. Ball in to Salah's feet from Gravenberch. on the half turn was challenged, but there was Wirtz to pick up the loose pass and try and find his forward teammate Ekitike in the box to win a corner.
Corner that Liverpool will take on their right flank. Gravenberg waiting in the D on the edge of the penalty area. Wirtz is there as well. Canardi stands at the far post inside the 6-yard box. Gakpo, hands on hips by the penalty spot. McAllister just trying to wriggle his way clear, makes his way into the 6-yard box. It's flashed in, handed away by Dan Ballard out to the far touchline. Wirtz with all the time to run round it, bring it back under possession. And another ball is swept forward. Ekitike going up for it. Van Dijk got there first and guides it on. Cody Gakpo making a run in past him, but it just fell behind him. And goes through to Robin Roofs in fluorescent orange away to our left. They have failed to score in 5 of their last 11 games, Sunderland, but only Manchester City have kept a clean sheet here this season in this remarkable home record, which is now 14 strong, just going back into last season. You may remember that Regis Lebris completely changed his team. Sunderland known they were going to be in the playoffs about a month out from the end of the regular season. And so the reserves, or a much changed side, played for many of the last few games. They actually lost the last 3 home games of the regular championship season. We're on the front foot here as the ball is played over the top. Robbie just misjudged the bounce as it came down on the edge of the penalty area and then leapt over his shoulder and through towards Alisson. Made the early run, and they just couldn't quite find him. He's been in wonderful form. Brian Brobby, 3 goals in his last 6 Premier League games, and has developed a reputation of being a real nuisance.
And again, that was evidence with the running behind Konate. I tell you what, if he'd have judged the flight there, he could have taken that down, turned and had a chance against Alisson, 1v1. Just didn't judge the flight. Not easy here. Weather, rain, wind, you name it, we've had it and still got it, and it's difficult sometimes to judge that flight.
Yeah, it is a typical wintry northeast night. The wind coming in off the sea, only half a mile away from here. A very awkward swirling breeze. Here's Andy Robertson for Liverpool, 0-0 in the early stages still. We played 8.5 minutes. Back for Cody Gakpo, curves the ball inside the penalty area. Ronaldo heads that away, and then Konate with a speculative long-range effort from fully 35 yards out. And he goes high and wide of Robin Roof's left-hand post.
Yeah, it's a brilliant clearance from Konate to ease the pressure for Sunderland. And look, they've had no problem actually scoring here at the stadium of Light Sunderland. So that's something Liverpool have to be wary of. They will sit deep for long periods and you think you're safe. And then they will have these bursts of, in terms of the energy and the counter-attacks and the momentum that they can build for that.
Andy Robertson slides one forward. Robin Roofs comes out and claims it. And another goal at Selhurst Park. Alex Crook.
Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 2. Jadon Anthony with his 6th goal of the season. A fine finish from the edge of the area into the bottom corner after using Jefferson Lerma as a shield. But this might be chalked off, Jim. I think Leslie Agachukwu handled in the build-up. But the referee, I think, has given the goal 2-2.
So 10 minutes in, here, 0-0, 2-2. Coming up for half-time in that delayed kickoff, 7:40. Because of traffic congestion. Long ball forward through the middle from Alisson. Roofs comes out of his penalty area and pings it back at him. They didn't get anything like the distance. That really illustrated the strength of the wind here. And it's predominantly in Liverpool's favour in this first half. Good defending from Sunderland. They get it back for Roofs again. Who can then clear towards halfway. So that goal standing at Selhurst Park, 2-2. Burnley looking for a first league win in 17 since the end of October. Wirtz turning neatly, flicking it in towards Salah. Back from him to Gravenberg. Alexis McAllister's quickly on the scene. Andy Robertson's been recalled tonight, has it. Scotsman playing it down towards Cody Gakpo, who will run towards the edge of the penalty area, then flash it across the edge of the box. Gravenberg poking it in, it's cleared. Comes out for McAllister. Now Van Dijk down towards the bleached blonde hair of Ugo Ekitike on the Liverpool left. Number 22 making his way in. Is that taking a deflection off Mukiel? No, it hasn't. Ekitike's the last touch. It's out of play for a goal kick, and it's still 0-0.
And as you would imagine, they are one of the best teams in terms of backing up your defensive partner. If you get past one of these Sunderland players, there is always one waiting behind. They've been so good at that. Liverpool top for average possession this season in the Premier League, but when you watch them, so often it's Van Dijk to Konate into Gravenberch and back, and they found it hard going at times to actually create and break down teams when they sit deep.
Yeah, I don't think they're top for telling possession, which is a statistic that hasn't yet been invented, but you understand what I mean. Easy at times for sides to spray the ball around the horseshoe 25 yards outside the penalty area. Clash of heads here involving Konate and Brobby. Both players are okay. They're back on their feet. And another goal at Selhurst Park. Crookie.
What on earth is happening here? Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3. This is going to go down as an own goal off Maxence Lacroix. It's a corner. Bashir Humphreys with the header, and the goalkeeper, in fact, Henderson, has pushed it against Jefferson Lerma. It's a Lerma own goal from 2-0 down. Palace 2, Burnley 3.
And that's 3 goals in about 6.5 minutes for Burnley there. Coming into the game on the back of 2 straight defeats, 1 win in 17 in League and Cup, and 3-2 up at Selhurst Park, having been 2-0 down 5 minutes before half-time. In the National League, Hartlepool have equalised at York. Reece McNally, throw to Liverpool here. Taken by Andy Robertson, not too far away from the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Chanceless, pretty much here at the Stadium of Light so far. Robertson getting it back for Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk inside the centre circle for Konate. Konate with an excellent ball forward. And Roofs came out to try and deal with it. He wouldn't have been able to. Reinildo got it away from in front of him and Salah. And then Brobby trying to hold it up has done really well. The Sunderland number 9 over on the far touchline there left. Now they'll bring the ball forward. Poked away again by the retreating Konate, and Endo can turn it forward, but a little bit too high for Salah. And that will see the ball fall for Reinildo. He gets the ball at his feet, the Mozambican international. And then Siddiqui calms things down in the heart of the midfield and gets it wide towards Dan Ballard.
Yeah, another terrific signing. Reinildo, the left back, started brilliantly against Salah, who I think it's encouraging to see him making that run more often, rather than staying really wide, looking to run on the blind side of the full-back. Reinildo's been excellent so far in managing his angles and making sure he's got there first.
Mukiel trying to bring the ball forward for Sunderland. Suspicion that it possibly hit his hand on the way through. A possession turnover quickly anyway, and then Salah drops it back for Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. Half-time now at Selhurst Park. Alex Crowe.
Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3. Palace 2 up and cruising after Jurgen Strand-Larsen scored twice on his home debut. But what a comeback from Burnley. 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes. Hannibal with the first, Jadon Anthony the second, and then a comical own goal from Jefferson Lerma. Palace 2, Burnley 3.
And a stinging reaction, I'm sure, from the Palace faithful as the two sides went off. That on the back, of course, of them beating fierce rivals Brighton at the weekend. Forest Green have equalised at Rochdale, coming up the half-time through Carl McAllister. Big game at the top of the National League tonight. Sunderland bringing the ball forward in Liverpool territory, about 15-20 yards or so inside the Reds' half. Ball back for Siddiqui. Siddiqui working it forward towards Dan Ballard. Got a wonderful record, Sunderland, when Siddiqui and Xhaka start games together, which that hasn't happened very often recently because of AFCON. And then Xhaka's injury. Enzo Lefebvre yet to really see too much of the action alongside Siddiqui in the heart of the midfield tonight. Greg Kilty equalising for Kilmarnock at home to St Mirren, 1-1 coming at the half-time. As Ballard plays it forward down the side of the Liverpool penalty area, but Robertson put the brakes on quickly enough to be able to shepherd the ball over the line. Out of play for a goal kick. You're listening to Sunderland Liverpool on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet. Terms apply.
Well, we talked about Endo on the right-hand side. Andy Robertson coming in for Kirkesh. And Gakpo on this side will be interesting with the way that Trey Hume plays that position as a right wing back / midfielder / right back, because what they do is he drifts away and then Mukiele just raids down the right as he is now.
Just worked to Nordi Mukiele, who's a ball inside the penalty area to split the gap between Brobby and Angulo. And Siddiqui picking up the loose ball in the midfield, happy to go back for Robin Roofs. I mean, it is very fluid, depending on which website, Football Stats website you use. Some will watch the game and say it's a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. Others will say it's 5-3-2. It depends on the amount of possession. Hume now, the most advanced of the Sunderland outfield players, has just got himself between Van Dijk and Robertson, but there's no ball coming in for him, and in fact it's worked all the way back for Robin Roofs at the other end.
Yeah, and as Brad Pitt said to his scouts in Moneyball, you don't know. You don't know. Because honestly, you don't. It's incredible, this Sunderland formation and how it works and where Trey Hume plays, and then how the back three turns into a 2 and then a 1, and then Siddiqui's in the centre-back position, and Diarra's a centre-forward, and Enzo Lefebvre's then a number 6 and then a number 10. Honestly, that's how much it starts to rotate, especially when they do have the ball.
It's brilliant to watch, and it is impeccably coached. But that much is clear. Now, Liverpool will bring it forward again, but lose out again to Siddiqui. Ballard inside the centre circle. He rolls his studs over the top of the yellow ball. And sees Hugo Ekitike out of the corner of his eye. And plays it back for Robin Roofs. Kilmarnock have turned it around, 2 goals in 3 minutes coming up to half-time at Rugby Park. With Tyrese John Jules has put them ahead against St Mirren. Forward towards Angulo. And he can bring the ball down and now can drive. Plays the ball out to Mukiele. First time ball in from him. Brobby coming to meet it. Got across Kanate, but couldn't get a shot in. Mukiele has it again. Tried to dig it inside the penalty area. Van Dijk deals with that. Stretches out a right boot to clear. And it's a Sunderland throw.
And what a great example that was. All of a sudden, the rotation of the players. Mukiele is totally free on the right-hand side. Brilliant ball in. This is such terrific defending because Brobby gets just a head start to Kanate. He can't see the ball. He just puts his right thigh out, Kanate. Gets a brilliant block, or else that really would have tested Alisson.
So Van Dijk's clearance, putting the ball out of play for a throw about 12 yards from the corner flag that Trey Hume is going to take. Runs up to the touchline, arches the back, hurls it in, and Van Dijk heads that one away. It was a really good clearance because not only did he find touch, but it was about 10-15 yards behind where the initial throw had come from. So this one can't be propelled inside the penalty area. It's worked back instead for Reinildo. A little bit of discontent from the home supporters at times with the way that the ball is being played back, and they use the goalkeeper a lot, and there's not a great tempo in a lot of the play. And a frustration that they didn't get it inside the penalty area there as Liverpool win possession back. Now Van Dijk looks long, hopeful ball forward that Alderete is able to clear. Flicked on then by Cody Gakpo. Brought under control by Mukiele, helped on by Siddiqui. Mukiele climbed through the midfield and took an awkward fall as he leant over McAllister. Liverpool win it back with Gakpo. Salah in space on the right, and Reinildo's got an eye on him. But again, Liverpool don't play the incisive ball and work it to this near touchline on the left instead. And Andy Robertson has it. Back from him to Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk to Kanate and out towards Wataru Endo. They haven't been able to isolate Angulo against Endo so far, Sunderland. Wirtz finding that pocket of space about 15 yards outside the penalty area, but forced after an indifferent first touch to go back. Gakpo, now Robertson. Robertson coming onto it, did well to get there ahead of Mukiele. Wirtz flicked in, it hit Ekitike in the end, and ricochets just wide of the near post. Although Roofs had it covered, has taken the deflection and goes out for what has been given as a Liverpool corner. Let's go back to the Etihad. John Dunn.
Just kicked off the second half. It's Manchester City 3, Fulham 0. Concerning one for Manchester City. Erling Haaland has come off at half-time. Now in the build-up to City's second goal that's scored by Nico O'Reilly, it started on the halfway line. Haaland did take a kick from Joachim Andersen. Didn't move as freely after that, despite scoring City's third. So whether he's come off just to save his legs and to save an injury with the lead so comfortable, or whether that's more serious, we'll find out from Pep at full-time. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0.
Corner comes in from the Liverpool left. Gakpo's delivery headed away, punched away then by Roofs. And it'll be brought forward by Hume over on the Sunderland left, who ran down a blind alley. Liverpool win it back. Salah making a good return run inside the penalty area. Tried to cut it onto his left foot to get a shot in. Spooned away from him and nearly trickled through the Gakpo. About 8 yards from goal. But Roofs spotted the danger and was able to throw himself on the ball and then bowled it out for Enzo Lefebvre. Still 0-0 here on Talksport as we approach the midway stage of the first half.
Yeah, when they move it quickly, Liverpool, of course, with the quality that they've got, they do look a threat. Salah, I have found this season, he does seem to want to take that extra touch when he's in and around the area. And we're definitely losing a tiny bit of his sharpness and his pace. Defenders are getting back at him. That's 3 times already that Ronaldo, twice, and then there, he's just been caught on the ball when maybe it needs just that one touch and strike.
He's 7 without a Premier League goal as well, Mo Salah, since he netted against Villa on the 1st of November, which is his longest Premier League streak without a goal for Liverpool. He once went 8 without a Premier League goal in his Chelsea days, right at the end of his brief Chelsea career in the 14-15 season. But he can emulate that unwanted mark tonight. It's a free kick which will be taken by Sunderland. We're in the 23rd minute. It's 0-0. The ball spotted down almost on halfway. Liverpool keeping a high line 8 yards outside the Sunderland penalty area. The ball is driven in, right-footed, towards the edge of the box. Should be easy for Van Dijk. See how much it held up on the breeze, and Van Dijk just stepped up and attacked it, headed it away. Salah then claiming he was pulled down on halfway by Reinildo. Referee Chris Kavanagh gave himself a little bit of thinking time, but the free kick has gone Liverpool's way, and Reinildo throws the ball away to stop the free kick being taken, and he gets a yellow card. He'd delayed and prevaricated enough, Reinildo. And then instead of just dropping the ball so that Liverpool could take it, he threw it 10-15 yards back inside his own half at Siddiqui. And the referee said enough's enough and produced the yellow card for him.
Ridiculous. Why on earth would you do that? Started the game really well. Up against Mo Salah that's going to test you all night. And just get given a yellow card for that. Ridiculous.
And potentially costly later on. 0-0, 24 gone. Half-time at the Valley in the Championship. Ian Abrahams.
Charlton 0, Stoke 0. Clark for Charlton, Raksaki for Stoke. Both rattled the bar. Chances, plethora of chances actually for both sides actually. In what was a better half than the scoreline suggests. Charlton 0, Stoke 0.
Sunderland work it forward. And Kanate heads it away. Endo's been solid enough at right back, and then he's caught off the ball by Angulo. And a free kick taken quickly before Endo's back on his feet. Liverpool in a hurry to restart play. Ekitike comes to meet it, flicks it round the corner for Gravenberch. Salah has it now. Shown inside by Nelson Angulo. And they work it from the right-hand side of the midfield out to the left for Andy Robertson. Here's Florian Wirtz, who's scored in 2 of his last 3 league games, but he's lost out. Enzo Lefebvre with his foot on the ball. They work forward to Siddiqui. Now towards Angulo. Angulo dropping his shoulder, trying to take on Wirtz, who's defended it really well, the German. He came back, claiming that he was just pulled down. Referee said he was. Free kick taken quickly. And Gravenberch gets it for Wirtz again. Wirtz looks up and hits a slide rule pass into the path of Mo Salah on the corner of the penalty area. And that smacked straight at Siddiqui as he tried to find one of 3 in green inside the box, and it's cleared. Back in from Gravenberch. Robertson attacking at the far post, but it sails over him and Mukiel, and out of play for a goal kick to Sunderland.
Yeah, it was a poor attempt by Salah to cross through the legs of Reinildo. Like you said, into those players that have made the effort to make the box, so Salah's got to do a bit better. And the ball over the top was just a fraction too slow in being released when Robertson made the run beyond Gakpo.
Now let me remind you what's happening elsewhere. Talksport 2, Forest against Wolves is 0-0. On the Talksport app, Villa against Brighton, similarly goalless. Palace 2, Burnley 3 at half-time. That is on the Talksport app, the delayed game. Burnley only the 5th team in Premier League history to be 2 or more goals down in the first half, but then end up leading at half-time. Now with 26 minutes on the clock, there is applause all around us for George Forster, a Sunderland legend, off the field rather than on it. Trey Hugh, when he came onto the pitch earlier, had a shirt emblazoned with Forster 99, which remains draped over the hoardings here. He was the chairman of the Sunderland Supporters Association. I'd also like to make a personal tribute to long-standing Sunderland press steward Andy Edmonds, who we lost a few weeks ago, who will also be sorely missed in these parts. Here's Ryan Gravenberch, 15 yards outside the penalty area. To his left for Andy Robertson. Robertson towards Cody Gakpo, getting towards the byline, trying to work the ball in. Ballard can head it away with a diving header. Turned back in by Robertson and then headed clear again. Out towards Konate. Now to Virgil van Dijk. Robertson to his left. And he hooks the ball inside the penalty area, and Ballard can volley that one away towards halfway, where immediately they will chase after it with Diarra. But he can't get a touch on the ball. He's Sunderland's most expensive of the summer acquisitions. Robertson's got it again. A little bit of space for Gravenberch. Now work forward through towards Alexis McAllister. McAllister out towards Endo. Endo back for Konate. There's a cry from a Sunderland fan in front of us to squeeze them. And Sunderland do to a certain extent, but by the time Van Dijk gets the ball at his feet inside his own half, it's then become easy possession, and he can work it out towards Robertson, and Liverpool will build from the back again. 0-0.
That's what they won't do, though. Regis Lebris knows how to get the best out of these players. They're honest, hard-working, defensively minded players for so much of the game. And what they do is they make you work so hard for everything. One stray pass, and that's the attack completely gone. You've got to start all over again.
Robertson, Ekitike, Wirtz inside the penalty area, trying to turn inside away from Lefay. Ballard came across, just nudged the ball away from Wirtz, who then appeared to catch him. The referee says no, it's a throw to Liverpool, not a free kick to Sunderland inside their own penalty area. But Ballard now being helped back to his feet. Did well just to read it and get there ahead of Florian Wirtz. The replay shows that perhaps Ballard just, having lost it, dived. Good call from referee Kavanagh. Now Gravenberch unleashing from distance. It's gone way up in the air after a deflection from Brobby. It'll be brought down by Reinildo. He gets it clear towards halfway where Konate can bring it down.
Yeah, not to put words in your mouth, but it was. There was actually he made the contact himself. Well done, the referee, Chris Kavanagh, to spot that. That's something that Ballard needs to take away from his game. He does that a lot, actually.
Yeah, just threw his right foot into the ankle, not to make significant contact with Wirtz, but as soon as the contact was made, Ballard then went to ground. Here is Wirtz from distance. Good strike, and Roofs dives to his right and beats it away. It's the best opportunity either side have created so far in a relatively sterile opening half an hour. Liverpool get a corner.
Yeah, and I think if you work it well enough, there will be opportunities from the edge of the area against Sunderland. It's a brilliant strike from Wirtz. Really catches hold of it. It's speeding up as it gets towards the roofs. Does really well to make absolutely sure, because of how slick the ball will be. No attempts to try and be clever, just parried that behind.
Liverpool's second corner then, and it'll come in from the near touchline, the left. From Cody Gakpo in towards the near post, and a little flick header goes over the bar from McAllister. Van Dijk was in there as well. It might indeed have been Virgil van Dijk. I think he was. They got the last touch. He's just ducking onto it on the edge of the 6-yard box, come off the top of his head. He couldn't keep it down, facing away and under a little bit of pressure from Angulo, but his reaction, full of disappointment, suggests that he should have done better.
Yeah, I mean, I think as that ball got whipped in towards the goal, in swinging from Gakpo, Virgil van Dijk thought he'd have this, and then he just was physically turned by Mukiel.
Now he's got defending to do as the ball is played forward towards Brobby, and Van Dijk won the battle of the Dutchman to be able to clear and put it out for a throw that'll be taken on the Sunderland left, and Hume again will come across to pick up the greasy, grimy yellow ball. He will be handed a towel and will dry the ball on that dark blue towel so that he can get as much purchase on it as he possibly can before launching it inside the box. Hands the towel back to a ball boy stationed down in front of the advertising hoardings, and then goes short after all of that to Mukiel. Back for Hume, swung in too deep, easy claim for Allison, who will catch it and then immediately bowl it out for Andy Robertson, who will push forward down the Liverpool left, gets it over halfway, finds Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike turning towards the edge of the penalty area. Lefebvre snapping at his heels, but he can't get the ball back. Ekitike lets fly, well blocked by Reinildo, who dived right in front of the line of the shot, made sure it didn't even reach the penalty area, and Konate picks up the loose ball inside his own half.
Yeah, fortunate, wasn't it? The way it fell then for Ekitike, but instantly, as soon as he turned, he wanted to strike from distance, but the door was well and truly slammed shut in front of him with two players looking to block.
Cody Gakpo, Robertson back for Gakpo again inside the box. He's clipped it in and it's only just too high for the advancing Salah. Endo flanks it back towards the far post. Mukiel watches it safely onto his right foot and clears. That very close for Liverpool. Gakpo coming again. Wirtz and off the post. Spins away to safety. Endo will pick that up. Down by the corner flag. Liverpool getting closer and closer. Now McAllister. Poor pass from him. Gravenberg will be able to rescue it. And Sunderland just for a moment on the ropes. Firstly, the cross that came in was only just too high for Salah. And then Wirtz wriggling into a position of strength inside the penalty area, hitting a low scuffer that was almost perfect. And he just came back off the face of the right-hand post and ricocheted away.
I mean, he's a class player, isn't he? Momentum building for Liverpool, though, and anxiousness around the stadium for Sunderland supporters.
Konate forward towards the edge of the box. Ryan Gravenberg's got it now. Clipped inside the penalty area. Mukiel put out a foot. Couldn't really deal with it and fell for Gakpo. Down to Robertson. You can hear the reaction of the crowd getting frustrated and a wee bit worried here. Robertson swings in a cross that's half cleared. Another shot from Salah comes in, hits Reinildo. Another ball inside the 6-yard box. Gakpo lost his footing and looks imploringly at the referee, but nothing is given his way. And then Mukiel taking it down towards his own corner flag, struggling to deal with it, get it away, and was fouled by Robertson. And the blow of the referees was a music to the ears of those Sunderland players under the cosh for 2 or 3 minutes there.
Well, let's go back to that chance for Wirtz. Brilliant play by Gakpo, faking to cross. Just punching that in towards Wirtz in the area. And it's already that thought process. He's got an idea in his mind what he wants to do. So as it comes into him, he goes as if he's going to let it go across his body and then just checks back in one movement and strikes with the left foot through the legs of the defender and skimming off the bottom of the post. It was really well worked by Liverpool, and Wirtz so unlucky.
He's got 6 goals in his last 11 games, but only one of his 6 Liverpool goals has been away from Anfield so far. Inches away from scoring then. And then Gakpo is fouled here. And another free kick to Liverpool in Sunderland territory, about 15 yards or so. 0-0 the score. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Sunderland at 17-5. Liverpool a shade of odds against 20-19, and the draw is 2-1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+, gambleaware.org. Liverpool take that free kick, work down to Cody Gakpo. Gets towards the byline, hooks it inside the penalty area, falls inside the box for Van Dijk, who let fly. Left-footed effort deflected over the bar for a corner.
Yeah, Gakpo's having more and more of an influence on this left-hand side, as he should be, going both ways. Decent ball in, deflected to Van Dijk, who just stayed out of the area. Good strike, straight off the top of Alderete's head once again blocked by a Sunderland player. That is what they do.
Half-time in League Two, Swindon against Newport 0-0. In comes the corner from Cody Gakpo. And crucial that after a near-post flick, it was Lefay that got there to knock it away from Gravenberch. This last 5-6 minutes has palpably been the best span of pressure that either side have mustered so far. It has been all Liverpool, and all of a sudden it feels as though it's a question of when rather than if the deadlock will be broken. Sunderland can't get out, and the crowd around us getting a little bit tetchy. Gakpo running at Hume, bamboozling and twisting one way then the other, but Sunderland again defending mob-handedly, will be able to get it clear, and the winner free kick is Siddiqui is just eased to the ground.
I mean, they are so deep again, you know, to try and play. I think this is where they do miss Xhaka, is even in the tightest of areas, and when they're under pressure, he's so good at just having that calming influence when he receives the ball, or orchestrating where that ball needs to go to get out and give them just a bit of a breather, or at least a decent counter-attack, because they're of no threat to Liverpool. Liverpool can really push up.
And we'll do so again here with Salah playing it in. Poor defensive header. Vets trying to react, and Roos did well. Firstly to get in the way, and then with really quick hands, like a wicket keeper, trying to whip the bails off with the batsman out of his ground, and just managed to get the ball away from the advancing Ekitike. But it was a horrible ball that was played in by Salah with the outside of his right boot. A brilliant delivery that caused all kinds of problems. And Wirtz and Ekitike almost able to flourish. Wirtz has got it again. Play back for Ryan Gravenberch. Now it's Cody Gakpo taking over. Another ball with a similar shape to that last Salah cross. Swung in with the outside of the boot. And caught by Robin Roofs, who had signed for just £9 million last summer, and would be potentially worth 3 or 4 times that now. After a brilliant season. Angulo coming forward. Doesn't shoot, as everybody wanted him to, and then when he does, it's a low one that dips kindly in front of Alisson in a very central position, and he can make a comfortable save.
Better. More positive, though. I think just about appeases the Sunderland supporters, who want a bit more bravery in their performance. They've shown so much respect, too much in fact, to Liverpool.
Salah has it again. Play forward towards Wirtz. Wirtz to Gakpo. Sunderland getting stretched. Cody Gakpo with a shot that it comes back off Mukiel. And then a firm block challenge from Lefay. And the loose ball breaks Diarra's way, coming down the Sunderland right, and he's trying to release Robbie, who's being pulled there by Konate. Big coming the other way as well. It's laid back for Mukiel. Nordi Mukiel, 5 yards outside the penalty area. Back for Enzo Lefay. Lefay rolling it in. Diarra didn't quite react quickly enough. And the ball rolls through for Alisson.
Yeah, it's the right idea. Lefay, the ball down the side for Diarra. You're right, he wasn't anticipating that pass. Otherwise, he may well have been in. But again, Robbie doing well to back into Konate and release Mukiel, who probably should have taken it himself. Again, just a bit more positivity, though, from Sunderland.
Equaliser in the Premiership for St Mirren at Kilmarnock. Killian Phillips has scored both of the Buddies' goals tonight. Against the Killie side, have only won 1 out of their last 19, but 6 points clear of Livingston. And that'll be 7 if the scores end as they are right now. Celtic are beating Livy by a goal to 0. Tomorrow, Arsenal will try and get back 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League if everything ends up at the Etihad, as it looks as though it will. City 3 up at the moment at home to Fulham on Talk Radio as we speak. And tomorrow Arsenal are at Brentford here on Talk Sport. Build up at 7 ahead of an 8 o'clock kickoff. The ball is flashed through the Sunderland 6-yard box, and Roos can claim. And then Friday, the FA Cup 4th round starts. Firstly, Hull against Chelsea, which is a 7:45 kickoff here on Talk Sports. Saturday lunchtime, Burton Albion against West Ham at 12:15. Villa against Newcastle at 5:45. And then Saturday tea time, Liverpool at home to Brighton. It kicks off at 8. It's here on Talk Sport, live from Anfield on Saturday night. Cody Gakpo releasing Robertson, and Roofs has to kick that one away. Salah making a darting run through the 6-yard box, And Roofs did well, got his left foot to it, kicked it round the post and out for a corner.
It's been really good, Robertson, alongside Gakpo. They've been excellent for the last 15 minutes, actually, down the left-hand side for Liverpool. They're the ones that have created the openings for Liverpool. Arne Slot will be disappointed, really, that they maybe haven't got themselves ahead in this game with how well they've played.
Well, this is Liverpool's fourth corner. And it comes with 4 minutes to go to half-time. Flag swinging in the breeze as the Gakpo delivery comes in, headed away by Ballard just in front of Van Dijk, comes out to Gravenberch over on the right flank for Liverpool, who runs round the fay and fires it in, and then Hume kicks it behind and out of play for another corner. I mentioned that Liverpool in action in the FA Cup Saturday night on Talksport at home to Brighton. Sunderland go to Oxford Sunday afternoon, that one live on Talksport as well. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff from the Kassam. Oxford against Sunderland. It follows Birmingham against Leeds and precedes our exclusive game from round 4, which is Arsenal-Wigan kicking off at 4:30. FA Cup fourth round wrapped up in Macclesfield Monday night here on Talksport. In comes this latest Liverpool corner towards the near post. Angulo heads it away. Straight back past Salah and out for another one. So 3 corners in quick succession for Liverpool, up to 6 for this first half with 3 minutes to go to the break. Salah spots it down, takes 4 steps back and then half a step to his left, preparing to deliver. Ekitike making a swirling run through the 6-yard box, fired in towards the near post. Siddiqui heads that away, comes out towards McAllister. McAllister got away from a couple of challenges, feeds Gravenberch, left-footed ball clipped in, and Roofs comes out and claims it again.
Yeah, he's been good, hasn't he, Roofs? Not only in terms of that save that he made, converts, but really commanding in his area, punching when he's needed to, and claiming to relieve the pressure also.
You listen to Sunderland against Liverpool on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Falkirk 1, Dundee 0 in the Premiership. In the Premier League right now, Villa 0, Brighton 0, Palace 2, Burnley 3, Man City 3, Fulham 0, 0-0 Forest against Wolves. Liverpool bringing the ball forward, looking for the opener. McAllister with a shot that is blocked. Sunderland have got a player down, and those on the Black Cats bench are asking for the ball to be put out of play. Gravenberch actually abdicated the responsibility for that. He played it back towards Van Dijk. Van Dijk with an air of, go on then, just put it out. Diarra, the player that has gone down, it was a challenge with Cody Gakpo. There's certainly no malice in it from Liverpool's Dutchman, but a sore one for big Diarra, who's now being held back to his feet by Virgil van Dijk. 90 seconds to go to half-time.
Yeah, there has to be some appreciation at where Sunderland are and the players that they've got. Yes, the recruitment's been excellent, but if a Liverpool team with this much quality turns up and they're very near their best in terms of their build-up and their intensity, you have to accept that you're going to have to dig in. You're going to have to keep things as solid as you can, maybe ride those moments out. Liverpool have been outstanding for a good half an hour of this first half, and Sunderland, I think, have done really well to keep it at 0-0.
70-30 in terms of possession for Liverpool, but where will Arne Slot feel that they can improve? Quality of the final ball, the most important thing?
Probably final ball and the finishing, of course. With 13 attempts, only 2 on target, you have to say, well, we need to work the goalkeeper more, especially in these conditions. Always difficult for a goalkeeper as well.
4 minutes of added time we're expecting, and we're just a few seconds away from that. Ekitike on the end of another long ball forward from Kanate. It's headed out towards the left of Wirtz, but Mukiel's read it, gets it forward. Whenever he can come forward down that right, Diarra and Brobby split and make varying runs deep into Liverpool territory. The ball goes out of play. Just 1 minute added at the end of the first half. I must admit, when they said 4, I thought, really? But just 1. And I think that is a more accurate assessment than 4 would have been. We're in that extra minute now. Trey Hume with the ball in his hand, preparing to take a throw. And delaying before the referee takes matters into his hands. Hume's throw finding Lefay. And suddenly just making sure, I think, that Liverpool don't get the opportunity to launch one last attack before half-time. Alderete coming into Liverpool territory. Ball back behind square for Dan Ballard. Heavy first touch, but unpenalised for that because no Liverpool player could get anywhere near him. And now it comes down towards the right-hand side. It's a beautiful piece of skill from Siddiqui. And Bobby going down inside the box. Big claims that he was pulled to the ground. And the referee has stopped play, presumably at the bequest of the VAR. And they will be having a look at this incident right at the end of the first half.
I mean, they've been battling the whole half. I mean, I'm halfway through a sweet and salty popcorn between those two. I mean, it's Konate and Brobby. Brilliant battle. Definitely no penalty. Both pulling each other. Brobby first and then Konate got to the right decision.
So it stopped within open play because that would have been the end of the half, but he couldn't blow the half-time whistle whilst there was still a VAR check going on. It was inspected by Thomas Bramall for a good 10-15 seconds or so. He said there was no case to answer and no clear and obvious error, no foul by Konate, and as a consequence the half-time whistle has blown and the two teams are coming off the field goalless.
Can't believe it's goalless, actually. We'll talk more with Dean Ashton in a second. Let me tell you about a couple of goals that have just gone in. What about this in Scotland? Robbie Muirhead's penalty means Livingston have equalised at Celtic 1-1. They're into the second half, and also into the second half, about an hour gone at Blunder Park. Grimsby 1, Accrington 0. Premier League, Villa 0, Brighton 0 on the Talksport app. You'll find commentary of that. Also on the app, Palace 2, Burnley 3. Maybe Scott Parker was right. Maybe they are going to survive. Man City 3, Fulham 0 is on Talk Radio. Forest 0, Wolves 0 on Talksport 2. Here on Talksport, it's Sunderland 0, Liverpool 0. Dean Ashton, that is some scoreline from Sunderland's point of view. I agree with you. They've got to be delighted that it's 0-0. Sunderland have had 3 touches in the Liverpool box. Basically, Liverpool have been all over Sunderland, but unable to put themselves on the score sheet. It's got to be a positive as far as Sunderland are concerned.
Oh, hugely. I think they've shown all the character and defensive organisation that we've expected from them all season. But Liverpool have still pierced through that. I think Liverpool have been outstanding, honestly. I think the way they've moved it with the quality in these conditions, by the way. I know you can say, oh, well, you're top players and it shouldn't matter. It does make a difference when the weather is like this and the wind is swirling and the pitch is slick and pretty muddy. Liverpool have been outstanding. I just think they've created lots of great opportunities without that clear-cut chance, but still, I think they should at least be 1 goal ahead.
Oh, they should. And I mean, listen, we may have different views on who the standout player has been. I've really enjoyed watching Florian Wirtz, not just because he hit the post and he's gone closest. I've just enjoyed his performance all round, really. And Regis Labrise, in the build-up to the game, said about Liverpool, big name clubs bring on X factor in terms of individual quality that is hard to prepare for. And Florian Wirtz is showing just that. He's not the only one, but they have that X factor, and Sunderland have found it difficult to cope.
Yeah, they have. I mean, call it fair or not, but I'm looking at Wirtz, I'm looking at Lefay as 2 players that I think have got similar qualities. Lefay hasn't got into the game at all.
No.
We haven't seen him. Of course, Liverpool have had, nigh on 70% of the possession, so they are going to get the ball into Wirtz more. But you're right, it's his awareness, it's how often he is checking his surroundings, checking his shoulder. In every time the ball is passed to one of his teammates, it's just a check of where he is and where his opponents are. It's that level of elitism in terms of then having the time on the ball when it seems so crowded. That is where you set yourself apart from other players. And when you can watch the players live as we get to do, you get to really see how he finds that space and how quickly he's then read what he's going to do. It with his chance. Before that ball's even come to him, in his mind, I think he knows what he wants to do. It comes to it, it's that fake and then check and then shot. It's 3 movements really quickly that I wouldn't say is instinctive, that he's already thinking about it, and he's been excellent to watch.
Yeah, there's not many players can think about that, never mind think about it and pull it off. In terms of Mo Salah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you frustrated watching him? Because he just shoots all the time. Now, his goal record suggests that's a good idea. But tonight, I mean, he's got nowhere near, has he? So Should I be frustrated with him, or should he keep on shooting?
No, I've been frustrated as well, because I think he shot when he shouldn't and played across when he maybe should have shot. I think a couple of times to shoot straight into the defender in front of him just seems a bit odd. Rather than going, I'm actually going to back myself to take him on 1v1 and dribble past him, he stopped doing that as much. Is that confidence? Is that, losing that little edge of pace and sharpness that maybe he's always had as he gets a little older? Not many people can get away from that. But he has been frustrating. But at least I think I've seen that positivity of that run that he makes, trying to make that run from that far side in behind the fullback. I thought he'd stopped doing that for quite a period.
Now you're perfectly placed with your experience up front to talk to me about Robbie and Konate, okay? Because every time there's a bit of fight ball between them two, the Sunderland fans think it's a foul on Robbie, okay? And so I understand what you're saying about the penalty shout at the end, that it's 6 and 1 half dozen the other. I agree with you on that. But a lot of the fight ball in the middle of the park, where they're going up for it together, I think the Sunderland fans might have a case as well. They think that's clearly a foul on their man. What would you say if you had those Sunderland fans in a room and you've got the old blackboard, bit of chalk? What are you going to tell those Sunderland fans and educate them about that situation?
The only way you could educate them is to physically show them, as in get them into the position and say, you play the role of Konate, I'll play myself, and show them that, because what Robbie's doing is he's backing in really early, and it is part of some of the traits that he has.
And he's a unit.
And he's so good at it, and he gets so much joy off so many other players, not Konate. And that's what happens is he's backing in really early and nothing's happening, and it's becoming just a fight between the two of them. And actually it's Konate that's then reading the flight of the ball, whether it's getting his leg around the side of you because you've backed him for so long and you're waiting for the ball to come towards you. Robbie probably needs to step back, and then step forward, so you don't allow the defender to get his leg around you just to get a touch on the ball, and then it's away from you. I've just enjoyed it because the referees let it go. There isn't really... how are you meant to spot what actually is going on between those two? Imagine going down there and physically being up against one of those players. No, you can't read what's going on. It's just a great battle to watch. But why doesn't Robbie go on Van Dijk for a period and just see if he gets a bit of joy from him? So it's Konate defending well, it's Robbie frustrated, but there's no foul? No, because they're both just going for the same ball. Robbie's backing in, and as he's backing in, obviously your hands go behind you to pin the defender. So that's a foul at the times, and you're grabbing hold of the shirt and you're pushing backwards and you're waiting for the ball to come in, and Konate's trying to do this. It's just... let it go. Brilliant from the referee. Let it go. It's part of, I would say, that kind of old school centre-forward defender battle. Yeah, I'm enjoying it as well. Let's see if Robbie does anything different in the second half. Sunderland will need to do something different because they have been second best, but the scoreline looks good for them. Live on Talksport, it is Sunderland 0, Liverpool 0 at half-time.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
It's another day at Screwfix, and so Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Okay? Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Turn right at the floordrome. You've reached chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage, and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Discover the world of Double, back in McDonald's Happy Meal. Race through the worlds of music, sports, space and more. How quickly can your little one spot the match? Double's bursting with fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 5th of March 2026, from 11am. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Double range comprises toys only, while stocks last.
Kick off live on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream a massive month of sport this February on Sky Sports with a now month membership. 18+, stream via internet, terms apply.
It's the loud and merry Saturday of live football on the Talksport network. Burton Albion besiege West Ham from 12:15 in the FA Cup on Talksport.
While Stevenage clash with Huddersfield in League One from 12:30 on Talksport 2.
It's the happiest Saturday of live football
on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Another goal in the National League, another goal for Manny Dizarue as Rochdale retake the lead against Forest Green. They lead 2-1 at Spotland. Right here at the Stadium of Lights goalless, let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
So Sunderland 0, Liverpool 0. Sunderland are 9-2 to win it. Liverpool are 11-10 on. The draw is 17-10. Hugo Ekitike had scored first, is 9-2. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Also in the National League, Yeovil down to 10 men, but they've equalised at Boreham Wood. Talented James Daly with the equaliser. Let's go round the grounds in the Premier League to the Etihad. I think this one's all over. John Dunn.
Seems like it, Adrian. We've got 5 minutes of normal time to go. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0. Semenyo O'Reilly and Haaland in the first half. Haaland replaced at half-time. Potential injury concern. He was caught by a late Joachim Andersen challenge during that first half. Pep Guardiola loved the first half. Really enjoyed it. Bouncing around, smile on his face, applauding everything his team did. Really frustrated in the second half. His side haven't found any kind of rhythm. They've given possession away far too much and only really a Phil Foden weak effort that was easily saved by Bert Leno to call a shot as Fulham come forward there. One chance for Fulham, snatch shot from substitute Rodrigo Muniz was a smart save by Donnarumma. Oscar Bob on against his former side, closing stages over on Talk Radio. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0.
And to Villa Park, any sign of a goal, Adam Bridge?
No, 5 minutes remaining here. It's Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0. The crowd are agitated. Unai Emery is agitated. He's thrown everything at it, including a debut for the youngster from Brazil, Alisson, who they signed in the summer. But actually, it's Brighton who've come closest to scoring until now. Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. The corner swung in from the right-hand side. And Mings inside the 6-yard area nods it home in a crowded penalty area. Into the back of the net, in front of the Holt end, and Villa Park has erupted. They've been against it in this second half. They hit the crossbar, did Brighton, courtesy of Kadioglu. Milner almost had a moment but was saved by Martinez, who also denied Matoma. But it's Tyrone Mings on his 200th Aston Villa appearance that 5 minutes before the end may well have won the game. Aston Villa 1, Brighton 0.
And that's live on the Talksport app. Villa take the lead live on Talksport. 1 win for Brighton since the end of November. The fans have been booing their team. They're on 31 points, so not totally safe, especially as they're not winning games. So, Aston Villa 1, Brighton 0. What's happening at the City Ground? Jeff Peters.
It's Nottingham Forest 0, Wolves 0. Forest are up to 31 shots as they continue to dominate, 15 of them since the break. The closest they've come during a scramble in the 6-yard box. Jose Sarr, terrific double save from Igor Jesus, and then straight after from Morata. At the other end, Mane with a snapshot saved by Ortega after a rare Wolves counter. Home fans voicing their frustration. TV cameras panning to Evangelos Marinakis, the owner, in the stands. He doesn't have the happiest of demeanours. Closing stages on Talksport 2, Forest 0, Wolves 0.
Quick 1-2, Selhurst Park, Alex Crook.
12 minutes to go here. It's Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3. All of those goals coming in an incredible first half when Palace were 2-0 up, courtesy of a double from home debutant Jurgen Strand Larsen. But Burnley scored 3 times in the final 7 minutes of the half to turn the game around. It's been all Palace since the restart. They've done everything but score. Brennan Johnson off the bench has just put a 25-yard curler over the crossbar. Daniel Munoz has fired into the side, netting Ismail Assar from distance, came close as well. But Daichi Kamada with a header from a Munoz cross at the far post. He simply had to score. He nodded it wide. Frustration growing here. Palace 2, Burnley 3.
And a quick one to the Championship game at the Valley. Ian Abrams.
19 to go. Charlton 0, Stoke 0. Good first half. Stodgy second. Campbell shot just saved by Simpkin, the best so far. Charlton 0, Stoke 0.
Grimsby leading Accrington in League 2. Swindon 0, Newport 0. And a bit of news from the bottom of League 2. Barrow, third bottom, have sacked manager Paul Gallagher. He was appointed on January the 2nd. Barrow have lost all 5 games with him in charge. Their third bottom. He lasted 40 days and 5 defeats. Brentford Arsenal tomorrow night, live and exclusive on Talksport. Natalie Sawyer, host. She's basically inviting you round to her place. Brentford is her manor. She's in charge from 7 tomorrow night. Here at the Stadium of Light, second half about to get underway. Sunderland 0, Liverpool 0. Here's Dean Ashton and Jim Proudfoot.
And one other notable scoreline from across the continent tonight. Bayern Munich leading RB Leipzig in the German Cup. Harry Kane's penalty, his 44th goal of the season for club and country. So we're back underway here. No changes in personnel. Liverpool kicking from left to right, and immediately they work it forward with Salah's long ball. Gakpo attacking that on the edge of the penalty area. And then there is a push on Ballard that gives Sunderland a free kick. Sunderland lining up Roofs in goal. Mukiel, Ballard, Alderete, Reinildo, Hume, Lefay, Sadiki, Angulo, and then Diarra in support of Brobby up front. Alisson in goal for Liverpool. Endo, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. Gravenberg and McAllister. Salah, Wits and Gakpo, and Ekitike. No subs on as yet. 0-0 the score. Reinildo, Sunderland left back, the only man in the book, and Roofs, his goalkeeper, who's had 2 or 3 important moments, is able to get the ball away. Very quickly comes back. Ballard turning it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Takes a touch, and then with his second, he just side foots it outside the penalty area for Omar Alderete. He plays it forward into the feet of Sadiki, and Sadiki's given it away as he looked for a Diarra, who did actually get a foot to it. Diarra then under immediate pressure from Cody Gakpo. His reaction suggested that he thought a free kick was going to go against him, but the referee has allowed the play to go on, and Sunderland have it again, bringing it outside of the D. Delighted to say Dean Ashton's alongside us for the game tonight here on Wearside. All Liverpool from the 5th minute onwards in that first half. More of the same, you would imagine that they will be able to find a way through sooner rather than later.
That's how it was feeling. Lovely bit of play, that.
Angulo it was. Ball inside the penalty area is half cleared. Comes out for Mukiel on the edge of the penalty area, and his ball in is blocked by Cody Gakpo.
And these supporters want more from Sunderland. I expect a little bit more. Liverpool were outstanding, of course, but still, I think they could have given a bit more bravery to their performance in that first half. Maybe they will, after the manager has spoken to them. Get players a little closer to Brobby.
Reinildo for Angulo with a shock of bleach blonde hair. His ball in is cleared. And then helped further away by Endo. Now Angulo waiting. The ball played in behind him down the Left-hand side instead for Diarra. Diarra clipping it in, and Allison punches that away. It has been a brighter start of the second half as far as Sunderland are concerned. They have it again on halfway with Dan Ballard. Full-time whistle has gone at Forest. Let's get the details from Jeff Peters.
Forest 0, Wolves 0, more pressure on Sean Dyche. Forest booed off, dominant throughout, 35 shots. Jesus and Morato denied by a brilliant Jose Sarr double save. Luca also missed a sitter. Wolves almost nicked it at the death. Mane kept out by Ortega. The locals not happy here. Forest 0, Wolves 0.
Well, that 35 shots, the most that any Sean Dyche side has ever had in a Premier League match, and his Premier League career is more than 350 games strong. It's the most by a Premier League side without scoring since Manchester United were kept out by Sean Dyche's Burnley nearly 9.5 years ago. Frustrating night for Forest, picking up only one solitary point this evening. That's what both of these sides have here at the moment. Also 0-0. Sunderland working in towards the edge of the area for Hume, but Kanate puts his size 11 through it and gets it out towards the Liverpool left, and Ekitike scampering after that has done well, and he's got past Ballard. Now he's got Salah at the far post. He's cut back in field and he left it for Gagbo. Gagbo left it for Ekitike, and Lefay was the beneficiary of that, and in a mightily relieved manner just pokes it away to Sunderland safety.
Yeah, and a big sigh of relief for Ballard, because why on earth he thought he could go and try and steal that off Ekitike, who was just waiting for him to do it as he was right on that far touchline, used his pace to get away and then just overran it.
Full time at the Etihad, John Dunn.
Manchester City 3, Fulham 0, all the work done in the first time. City now 3 points behind Arsenal. Semenyo prodded home the first after 24. O'Reilly slammed home the second on the half-hour marker. Flowing move. Haaland from the edge of the area made it 3. Haaland off at half-time, an injury concern. City, though, chasing Arsenal. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0.
Diarra plays it back to Angulo. Now to Siddiqui. Here's Lefay. Ballard inside the centre circle. More assured touch from him this time. To find Alderete. Fired towards the edge of the penalty area by him, but headed away by Endo. Brought down by Angulo. And Hume with a rising drive that didn't clear the bar by much.
Now, decent strike, wasn't it? Arcing away from Allison, but just a couple of feet over the top. So much better from Sunderland already in this second half to the first. Much more energy, higher up the pitch. Go and prove what a good team you actually can be.
Kilmarnock back ahead against St Mirren as they look for just their second win in 19 league games. They're 3-2 up with Tariq John Jules scoring that one. Cat-like, no doubt, in the penalty area. The 3-2 there. Celtic 1-1 against Livingston. And Rangers still leading at Motherwell by a goal to nil. So Rangers will be back 3 points behind Hearts at the end of the night. Celtic would lose ground. They'd be 8 points off the top, although they will still have a game in hand. Here's McAllister finding Florian Wirtz. Wirtz turning it into space for Andy Robertson. Swindon take the lead in League 2 at home to Newport. 1-0 at the county ground. Back from Robertson to McAllister. McAllister to his right-hand side for Ryan Gravenberg. Endo to Salah, poked immediately back in field towards Ryan Gravenberg. Ekitike coming to meet him. A deft little flick round the corner of Alderete, but nobody had made the run in behind him. And he goes through for Robin Roofs. It was an interesting discussion you had at half-time with Adrian about Mo Salah. He's now had 22 Premier League shots since he last scored a goal in the league.
I mean, what is Ekitike doing? Surprised if he gets away with this. Robin Roofs just obviously teasing Ekitike with the ball at his feet, ready to pick it up, and as he picked it up, then Ekitike just grabbed him round the back of the neck.
He just flicked out a right hand at Ekitike. Roofs went down quite theatrically. Chris Kavanagh, in keeping with his style of officiating tonight's had a word, no more than that. Roofs went down. Ekitike just impetuously threw a hand out towards him. Just a little clip rather than anything else. But maybe a little bit lucky to get away with without a yellow card.
I think so. He definitely grabs the neck of Roofs there. And just to go back to Mo Salah, I wonder how many of those have been those sort of clear-cut chances that we were so used to him seeing. It always feels like it's more a half chance he's had recently.
Angulo coming forward down the left-hand side of the penalty area. McAllister is back. His arms were out, but he is going to be able to bring it away. Angulo snapping at his heels, trying to win it back, has fouled him. And the free kick goes Liverpool's way. A hat-trick now for Tyrese John-Jules. Come on at 4, St Mirren 2. Now that Swindon goal against Newport scored by Fletcher Holman. And the deadlock broken at the Valley. Ian Abrahams.
Charlton 1, Stoke 0. Ball play through for Tyrese Campbell. First touch looked horribly hard, but he managed to get it past the goalkeeper Simpkin and rum it into an empty net. Charlton 1, Stoke 0.
Now if they hold on, they'll be 7 points above the drop zone. And Stoke will miss the chance to go back into the top 8. It'll be 6 without a win for them. Liverpool bring it forward. Get it out towards Ugo Ekitike. Flicked in by him towards Cody Gakpo. Ekitike taking over again. Spraying it wide with real purpose towards Salah. Salah's touch too heavy. Ranildo knocks it away. Salah, to his credit, immediately won it back. Runs a long way round the Mozambique international, gets to the byline and wins a corner. Full-time whistle at Villa Park, Adam Bridge.
Villa 1, Brighton 0. Villa back to winning ways. Not sure they deserved it. Jack Hinchelwood has been credited with turning home Tyrone Mings' header, so it's an own goal for him. Just 1 win in 13 now for Brighton. Now right in the relegation mix. Aston Villa 1, Brighton 0.
Swindon 2 up against Newport. 2 goals in 3 minutes there. Joe Thomas with the second. The first Liverpool corner of the second half is their 7th of the game. And it comes with 9 minutes having elapsed since the restart here on Talksport. Salah's going to take it. He's got his right arm above his head. Hits it in left-footed. Roofs came out. Got half a hand on it to clip it away. Verts knocking it back in. And that's well blocked by Diarra. And out for a throw.
They've not been able to get Ekitike a look at all, have they? Been really well marshalled by that Sunderland defence. No room whatsoever in behind either.
Liverpool ghosting towards the edge of the penalty area again. Gakpo back for Robertson. On the edge of the box, Verts, a delicious little reverse ball in from him. Gravenberch setting him back up with a shot from the edge of the area that's well blocked by the diving Ballard. Then Konate, Endo, speculative attempts. So many players to get it past, and Angulo ended up wearing it. He's back on his feet. But in some discomfort, the blocking that Endo shot. Endo now flicks it on towards the edge of the box for Salah. Cleared again by Sunderland. Poked back firstly by Konate. McAllister did well to field an awkward ball. Back from Konate again. Gravenberch through the penalty area. Too much on that for Endo. And it's out of play for a goal kick. It's still 0-0.
I mean, defensively again, you've got to admire it from Sunderland. The amount of blocks they get against the opposition, it's no coincidence. It's to do with the positioning between each defender and then the bravery. It's like playing against a master Tetris player. Just constant, no way through. Honestly, he's brilliant.
That's a great analogy. Roofs with the ball at his feet. Then just side foots it forward. Out from the back. Now towards Dan Ballard, who's looking at him, hands outstretched. I don't think he necessarily wanted it. It's gone straight back for Roofs again. He now swerves one down to the left. It's an awkward one for Angulo because of the spin that was imparted on the clearance. It's bounced off his chest and gone out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Liverpool right by Endo. Back from him to Konate. York doing well in the National League, 2-1 up against Hartlepool here, and Boateng scoring. And Accrington down to 10 men at Grimsby after Devon Matthews was set off. Ekitike beaten by Ballard inside the centre circle. Lefebvre with a straight ball forward. Allison didn't know whether to come out or not. He's hastily retreated. Robbie's got it inside the box. Can't get past Konate, who's defended it really well. And then coming back to cover, McAllister prevents the corner. But the referee spotted an infringement. And it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, he's got his card marked, hasn't he, Konate, against Robbie. Probably might have been onside actually, with Van Dijk possibly just keeping him on.
Salah's got away from Alderete, had a little pull of the shirt. Referee played the advantage. Liverpool couldn't make anything of it. You're listening to Sunderland Liverpool on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports day or month membership. 18 plus, streamed via internet. Terms apply. 0-0, as it was at this stage when the two sides met back 8 weeks ago at Anfield. Not long after this point that Sunderland took the lead through Shamsdeen Talbi. Angulo trying to nutmeg Endo, who's far too wily a customer to fall for that. And then McAllister gets there ahead of Hume, but his ball to Robertson left a lot to be desired. It's seized upon by Mukiel, who's coming towards the edge of the penalty area and fires wide of the near post.
I mean, once he gets going, Mukiel on that right-hand side, very difficult to stop because he's just so positive. He runs at you with pace, he runs straight at you and then looks to go left and right. This time he ducks into the left-hand side, in towards Van Dijk and takes the strike just to the left of the Dutch defender, but wide. Not the best strike with his weaker left foot, but again, it has been more positive this second half from Sunderland, certainly going forwards.
Liverpool still looking for a breakthrough and still searching in vain at the moment. And here's Wirtz. Ekitike. Played back in Salah! And it's deflected wide. It looked as though that was his moment. Came onto his left foot. And Ronaldo did everything he could to block it. And was able to deflect the effort wide. It came off the side of his face. Could have gone anywhere. But he's ended up spinning down towards the corner flag.
Incredible again, isn't it? From Ronaldo this time to block another Liverpool effort. But if you're a Liverpool attacker, you have to look up. You have to actually place that ball past the defender as well as the goalkeeper.
Salah unable to do that. That's now 23 Premier League shots without a goal, or since his last one. In from Salah towards the near post. Ekitike are trying to flick it on. It's come back off Angulo and out for another corner. So the corner count now into double figures for Liverpool. As the match ball is retrieved by a young ball boy from in front of the blue hoardings. Takes his seat back, rolls it down towards Salah, the ball. Salah spots it down, addresses it in the same way, 4 steps back, half a step to his left before preparing to knock this in, and then he's just asked to wait by referee Kavanagh. Plenty of pushing and shoving going on. The referee keeping an eye on it all. 15 inside that 6-yard box. Salah playing it back in, and it's in. Liverpool have the lead. Virgil van Dijk pretty much on the line, got his head to it, and he's come off the top of the head of one of the Sunderland players on the line, trying to keep it out. It may well go down as an own goal, but with an hour gone, Liverpool have the breakthrough. That crucial breakthrough coming from a set piece. Virgil van Dijk taking the acclaim of his teammates. It's Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, it's just a brilliant delivery. They have been all night, to be honest, from Liverpool. Salah one side, Gakpo the other. I think the Sunderland players think Roofs is just going to come out and punch, as he has all night. He can't get through the crowd. He's just been given a little nudge by Endo. And if you leave Virgil van Dijk free, he is going to get his head on it. Glances it towards goal. Diarra can't react quick enough. And flashed into the roof of the net. The goals panel, I'm sure, will check the angles of it, but Virgil van Dijk with a brilliant header.
Well, it did look as though it was on target. And Virgil van Dijk, who has only scored the 1 Premier League goal so far this season, which came at Bournemouth. Likely, we would imagine, to be credited with his 4th of the season in all competitions in League and Cup. Sunderland will come forward, looking for an equaliser now. Liverpool ahead. Endo forced to steer a perceptive cross away from goal, out of play for a corner. Endo's been hurt in making that defensive intervention. Might need a little bit of treatment. Let's go to Selhurst Park. An extraordinary night there. Alex Crew.
It's finished Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3. What a comeback win by the Clarets. They were 2-0 down after 33 minutes. Jurgen Strand Larsen at the double for Palace, but they scored 3 times in 7 minutes at the end of the first half through Hannibal Anthony and a comical Jefferson Lerma own goal. Martin Dubravka made a brilliant save with the last kick of the game to deny Ismail Assar an equaliser. It's a first win in 17 for Burnley. It finishes Palace 2, Burnley 3.
First win in 17 league games for Burnley. It's only one win in 14 now for Palace. Just 6 points out of a possible 33. Endo is okay, although Joe Gomez is getting ready. Endo's going to be able to continue for now. In comes the Sunderland corner. An overhead kick back in towards Angulo. Alisson tried to get it away and struggled. Still Sunderland with plenty of bodies forward. Alderete leaves it. Diarra trying his luck. Alderete back towards Mukiel, who's got the time to turn on the edge of the penalty area. Plays it down towards the corner flag where a right-footed cross comes in. And Ballard was shaping to shoot, but it was knocked away from him. The left-footed ball clipped forward then by Reinildo. They're headed down inside the penalty area. Alderete still forward. Back for Diarra. Another right-footed ball in. Brobby was waiting. Kanate stepped up past him to get it away. Then steers a second clearance out. But Trey Hume can pick that up. And he's got it out towards the right. Another ball in. Diverted away by Ryan Gravenberch for a corner. As Celtic score what surely will be a late winner. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in stoppage time. They lead Livingston by 2 goals to 1. Rangers still ahead at Fir Park against Motherwell. But Steelmen down to 10 men now. Lucas Fadinger has been sent off. Late consolation for St Mirren's Scott Tanzer, but they trail 4-3 at Kilmarnock. And Endo is down again. And Sunderland are just forced to wait before this corner can be taken. And Joe Gomez is ready to come on. Gomez, who missed the match of the weekend, he's had a groin problem recently. He injured himself at Bournemouth. He's only started 4 Premier League games this season. Not fit enough to play 90 minutes today, seemingly, because Endo was pressed into service as an emergency right back. But it looks as though Gomez is going to have to come on for the final 25 minutes or so. And he's lying on the ground. The reaction of his teammates is such that this looks as though it might be a bad one.
Yeah, I mean, I was amazed that he stayed on. It was a really awkward fall as he cleared the ball defensively with his leg underneath him. He then tried to carry on but went to jump, and I think probably aggravated whatever that was. And seriously can't continue now as the stretcher is brought out.
Well, stretcher is being taken on. And Endo is going to be helped onto it in a moment. And Joe Gomez will be the player that will be brought back on very shortly. Now, let me remind you of the situation around the country tonight. In the Premier League, Villa 1, Brighton 0. Palace 2, Burnley 3. Palace 2 up and then conceded 3 in 7 minutes before half-time. And after a goalless second half, it finished 3-2 to Burnley, their first win since the 26th of October. Manchester City 3, Fulham 0. Haaland amongst the goal scorers, all 3 in the first half. But Haaland went off at half-time and will confirm the severity of any injury when we speak to Pep Guardiola. Forest had 35 shots at home to Wolves and didn't score with any of them. 0-0. Charlton leading Stoke in stoppage time by a goal to 0. In League 2, also deep in stoppage time, Grimsby 1 up against the 10 men of Accrington. 10 minutes to go at Swindon, they lead Newport 2-0. In the Premiership, Celtic 2, Livingston 1 still playing. Falkirk have beaten Dundee 1-0. Kilmarnock 4, St Mirren 3. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 with 6 minutes to go. Motherwell are down to 10 men. The game at Tannadice tonight between Dundee United and Aberdeen was off. This one, Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1. In the National League, a late equaliser for Sutton at home to Braintree. Tomorrow night, Arsenal are at Brentford. It's live and exclusive to national radio on Talksport. Kicks off at 8. After Manchester City's win today, Arsenal hoping to go 6 points clear again at the top of the Premier League. And we'll find out together whether they manage it. An 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night at the GTEC. Full-time details now from the Valley. Charlton beating Stoke tonight. Ian Abrahams.
Charlton 1, Stoke 0. The winner 9 minutes from the end. The Lyndon Dykes flick on for Tyrese Campbell to run inside the penalty area. It looked like his first touch might be heavy as he went past Simpkin, but it wasn't. It was perfect, really, and he just steered it into an empty net. First half was decent. Both sides hit the crossbar. Second, less so. Charlton don't care. There's 7 points now from safety. Charlton 1, Stoke 0.
Wataru Endo has been helped onto the stretcher, tied onto it, and the stretcher bearer goes to every corner and will take him off. He'll get a big ovation from the crowd here after what looks like a bad injury, extensive treatment on the pitch, and Endo is being led away. FA Cup action coming your way over the course of the weekend, starting with Hull against Chelsea on Friday night. Liverpool in action at home to Brighton in a game that kicks off at 8. It's live on Talksport on Saturday evening, and then on Sunday, Sunderland go to Oxford in a game that kicks off at 2 o'clock. Also on Sunday, Birmingham Leeds at 12. Arsenal against Wigan, exclusive to Talksport at 4:30. Monday night, it's Macclesfield against Brentford. Can the Mac lads do it again? 7:30. That game kicks off, and a massive game at the top of the Championship as well Monday night. Second against first now, Coventry against Middlesbrough, and that's live and exclusive on Talksport 2 on Monday evening. So our thoughts with Wataru Endo. Having been stretched off, Joe Gomez on to replace him, and play will now resume with this Sunderland corner, which is going to be taken by Enzo Lefebvre on the Black Cats' right. Ballard trying to wriggle his way clear of the recently arrived Gomez, but the ball not deep enough to find him. Cleared by Liverpool, back towards halfway. Then worked down towards the left-hand side, and pass through the midfield by Siddiqui for Diarra. Worked on by Hume. On the Sunderland right, Lefebvre, which plays it forward for Mukiel. Ekitike with a flying header was able to get it clear from inside his penalty area and find Salah. And Salah now will work it forward. It just rolled between the legs of Cody Gakpo, and Sunderland get it back and go back to their goalkeeper.
Well, I just wonder what Liverpool will do. I've seen Arne Slot at times as a Liverpool manager. He is happy, actually, for his team to drop a little, to allow the opposition to have possession, not to necessarily build on the momentum of the goal. We'll see if they do that and allow Sunderland to try and ease back into the game.
Late equaliser for Hartlepool at York in the National League. Charlie Caton, the 7th minute of stoppage time. Now that seems destined to end 2-2. Lefebvre plays the ball out towards the Sunderland right as they search an equaliser. Probably trying to get free at the far post, but he needed an aerial delivery and it was whacked along the decadent and cleared. Salah then helping it forward, giving Ekitike something to chase. He's going to get to the loose ball ahead of Ballard. 2 or 3 yards ahead of him. Ballard backing off, allowing Ekitike passage to the edge of the penalty area, but not into it. It's played back towards Wirtz, who's had less of an influence second half. Salah's got it now. Salah curving a left-footed effort, and then Ekitike coming to meet it after the initial one was blocked and spooning it over the bar.
Yeah, he was asking for handball, and it's not going to be. Enzo Lefebvre's arms were close to his body, but Ekitike didn't care. Really alive to that ball. He was just tried to pop it over the top of Roves.
1-0 Liverpool it remains. Talk before the game about this away record they've had. So before tonight, they played against 5 games away from home. 5 games away from home against top 8 opposition, and have taken only 1 point out of a possible 15. What is it about Liverpool this season, do you think, Dean, that has made them susceptible in fixtures like that? They've lost at Man City and Chelsea and Brentford.
Well, I think against the best teams, they've not been good enough in both boxes. They haven't been clinical enough in games or created the chances to get far enough ahead. And then defensively, they've had incredible lapses of concentration, which feels as if has been improving. But also this type of mindset, they do sit off, actually.
Siddiqui getting it forward. Brobby trying to turn. Kanate with a challenge. Big appeals for a penalty. Play goes on. Sunderland have still got it. Mukiel getting it in off Van Dijk and then cleared by Gomez. Outside the penalty area for Diarra. Reinildo's ball in. Headed towards goal. Alisson had it covered. It's flown over the bar from Hume.
Well, I think this is, again, outstanding defending from Konate, because that ball just played into Brobby in the area. Konate's got to be so careful as he tries to twist away, and I thought he was ahead of Konate. The way he just keeps his eye on the ball, gets a little bit of Brobby, who doesn't go down to start with and then gets the ball. No appeal actually from Brobby. I think he's just appreciating the battle, and actually sometimes you've got to say, look, that's just brilliant defending.
Big goal in Scotland as Motherwell, down to 10 men, equalise at home to Rangers. Stephen Welsh in the 89th minute for the Steelmen. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1, and that would mean that Hearts would have a 5-point lead at the end of the night. They themselves scored a crucial late goal against Hibs last night. Rangers have conceded seemingly a crucial one at the end tonight. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1, but they're still playing in Lanarkshire. Free kick here on Wearside to Liverpool that Allison is in no discernible hurry to take. The ball spotted down 6 yards outside the penalty area. 17 minutes to go, but fair bit of time to be added on after the injury to Wataru Endo as Curtis Jones prepares to get ready. Mo Salah, the ball at his feet, back for Gomez, but there's been a clash of heads. Alderete and Ekitike, they're both okay. Alderete just getting back to his feet, and it'll be a drop ball which will go Liverpool's way inside Sunderland territory. Sunderland within 15 minutes or so of losing the last unbeaten home record in the top 3 divisions in England. Bromley, the only other side unbeaten at home this season. Only Leeds have taken a higher percentage of their points at home than the Black Cats. Has in fact been the best start to a home campaign for a newly promoted side in the top flight since Forest 48 years ago. They went on to win the title that year, unbeaten in all 21 home games. Alderete clearing it straight to Ekitike on the edge of the penalty area, rolls it in, Verts letting it run. Salah has to scamper after it. All he could do was keep it in, and Sunderland will be able to bring it away. Lefay under pressure from Verts, who's fouled him. Was Verts at fault when the earlier ball had come in, or did he do the right thing in leaving that for Salah? Would he not have got there?
No, I think it was intended for Salah rather than Verts. I think it was just one mistake led to another. Alderete into Ekitike, and then it's just a lack of concentration. That's all it is with the pass. So Liverpool make the change. Gakpo off and Curtis Jones on. The National League, York 3, Hartlepool 2, with a penalty in the 13th minute of stoppage time from Josh Stones. York 3, Hartlepool 2. And that could be a crucial moment in the promotion race. York trying to get back into the league. Roos with a long ball forward that is headed on and then away by Van Dijk. Back in by Hume. And Robertson sees it drop over his left shoulder. He's been caught actually. So he got it clear and has gone down. He's on his knees over on the touchline, breathing very heavily. Mukiel offering a hand of apology and waved away by the assistant referee. Robertson tried to clear, and Mukiel has just trodden on his right foot with his own right foot. Robertson's okay. Play will continue with a Sunderland throw. 14 minutes for them to get themselves back into the game. 14 minutes for Liverpool to hang on here. The ball is played inside the box, and from a tight angle, an errant shot whistles way over the bar. It was poor approach play. And after a very neat turn by Mukiel, and the headlines loomed large, and he's missed the target by some distance. Yeah, it's a real waste actually. First part's excellent to twist away and open things up. He could have played it across the box, but at the very least, you've got to skid that along the floor and into that far corner or the near post, or make Alisson make a save and maybe someone gets the rebound. Really poor from Mukiel to just whack it over the top of the bar.
Ekitike has come back from what must have been close to being an offside position. In fact, he did so with his hands up, as if to say he wasn't influencing play. I don't know whether the assistant referee told him he was okay and he was onside. He then touched the ball, and recycles it for Liverpool, makes his way out to the left, and then they played a long ball back in his direction. He has it again. Salah at the far post, if he can pick him out, he can't. Alderete gets it clear from the edge of the 6, down towards Hume, and he's put under pressure. Foul by Wits. An angry reaction from McAllister, but Chris Kavanagh's given the free kick Sunderland's way. 1-0 to Liverpool, 13 to go.
Well, changes surely from Regis Liberis has to be made. There is activity there. He has got attacking players to choose from. Rigg, Talby, Mayenda, Mundell, Isidore. Plenty there. Again, it's just, I think he struggles, certainly this season, to really change that formation and maybe stick that extra attacking player in the forward areas. You might need to.
We see just down beneath us that Romain Mundell's going to be coming on. Wouldn't surprise me if Talby was introduced as well. Here's Lefay. Almost got the ball past Konate. He's had his defensive angles right all night. Salah. Ekitike definitely offside this time. Salah saw that, played it to his right-hand side for Wits. Wits rolling it through the turf out towards Robertson. Robertson hooking in. Ekitike with a header. He's put it wide.
Big chance. His first look, actually, really, at the goal. The last one was instinctive. This one he saw all the way. He worked it to the left-hand side to Robertson. I thought the chance had gone, but Ekitike was free. He saw all the way from Robertson. Out-swinging cross. Gets his head towards it. Just really throws his head and neck at it. Doesn't need to. That just needs to be punched with the forehead down into the ground to skip up into that far corner. Instead, he just angles it far too wide.
Would actually have been very close to being offside. It would have been one of those where potentially a toenail or two might have been too far forward. Alderete is down inside his own penalty area receiving treatment, and that is going to necessitate a change. Hume is the first player to come off. I think this is going to be a triple for Sunderland. Angulo is going to come off as well. And Alderete's race is run. He's led away behind the goal. So Geertruida will come on to replace him. So Geertruida, Talby and Mundell coming on for Hume, Angulo and Alderete. A triple change being made with 11 minutes to go. It's finished at Motherwell 1-1. That late equaliser for the Steelmen. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1 and Hearts of 5 clear. And Celtic beating Livingston by 2-1 tonight. 6 points off the top. They've still got a game in hand after that stoppage time winner from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So Sunderland making 3 changes. Roofs gets the ball clear. Headed away by Van Dijk, whose goal is the difference between the two teams. It has been credited to him. He's in a battle against Brian Brobby here, but Alisson saw the danger and just came to meet the ball on the left-hand side of his penalty area.
Well, those changes just shift the shape slightly. Not very much, just slightly in a more attacking way. Talby on the right instead of Hume, so much more attacking player, attack-minded player than Hume. Mundell will come out to this left-hand side. Maybe just try and free up Enzo Lefay a little bit more to get closer to Brobby and actually use that creativity that he's got.
Roofs. Played to him by Geertruida. Real Swiss Army knife of a player. Geertruida, who can play in central midfield. He can play at full-back and playing at centre-half now, filling in for Alderete. Ball is worked forward through the Sunderland midfield. Lefay knocks it down to his left-hand side. Romain Mundell has it. Mundell taking a touch, working it back briskly through the midfield for Siddiqui. He just side-foots it forward. Clever run from Mundell, and now he can drive forward vertically up the pitch. Lays it out to his left-hand side. An opportunity for Ryan Ildo. Back for Mundell, who's looked really lively since coming on. But Gomez defends that. Salah plays it back to him, and Gomez can clear from down by his own dead ball line and get it forward down the right for Ekitike, who wins the throw. It's 1-0 Liverpool here on Talksport with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, frustration for everybody there as Mundell picked the ball up. Ronaldo just reversing it into him in the area, and he could have just let it go and then crossed it with his left foot. Instead, he tried to check back onto his right and was tackled. It was just the wrong decision there from Romain Mundell.
You listen to Sunderland against Liverpool on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Getrauda on the end of a Liverpool throw down the touchline, beating Ugo Ekitike to it. He's going to have more defending to do here under pressure from Curtis Jones, but he can guide it back for Roofs, who will clear through the midfield. A Liverpool goal from Van Dijk, only the 10th that Sunderland have conceded at home all season. Liverpool have scored twice as many as that away, but actually still got a negative goal difference on the road. Curtis Jones trying to get on the end of Alisson's diagonal ball out of the far touchline, which beat him and goes out for a throw. Apart from that header from Ekitike, not too many signs of a second goal here for Liverpool. Maybe just needing that comfort blanket of a 2-goal advantage, that bit of insurance. Sunderland bringing it forward through the centre circle with Siddiqui. Now Getrauda. Out to the left-hand touchline for Mundle. Mundle picking the ball up in his red and white striped shirt and his blue boots. Played back for Getrauda. Inside the centre circle. Siddiqui. Ballard coming forward. Dan Ballard 5 yards in for the right-hand touchline. Played back again through the midfield where Mundle will wait for the ball. Played down towards him now. And coming in off that left-hand touchline, Gomez. Trying to put the challenge in. Forced away towards the edge of the penalty area. Lefay. Ekitike coming back and putting the pressure on Getrauda. Inside the centre circle, Sunderland can turn and bring it forward again. But Diarra's flitted in and out of the game. Down towards Enzo Lefay on the Sunderland left. He's still 20 yards outside the penalty area. That's a good ball in for Brobby. Watched every step of the way by Van Dijk, whose presence forced him wide. Brobby gets it towards Mundle. Now Ranildo. Mundle again, corner of the box. A cross that takes a deflection and will be cleared down the left by Curtis Jones. Didn't get it too far. Sliding challenge comes back in from Ballard, but straight to Wirtz. Sunderland winning it back again immediately. Mukiel getting it wide towards Talby. Now right in the challenge in the midfield, Diarra. And Sunderland beginning very slowly to build up a head of steam. More pressure being applied. Getrauda towards the edge of the box. Ranildo's starting position on that left flank is much higher now. Getrauda working it in, past Lefay, and straight through for Alisson.
Yeah, roles reversed, isn't it? Liverpool really sitting deep in a defensive shape. Sunderland trying to find their way through. Not quite able to. Difficult when you're not used to playing that way. Sunderland are used to counter-attacking rather than trying to build up. They're working incredibly hard to try and find the gaps, though.
So Liverpool a goal up with 5 minutes to go. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Sunderland at 28-1. Liverpool are 13-2 on. The draw is 19-4. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org. And Sports Bar coming up after us. A day with so much to react to. Jamie O'Hara got his wish with Thomas Frank's dismissal from Tottenham. Palace fans, what did you make of your side's capitulation at home to Burnley? Manchester City back in form, certainly in the first half against Fulham, and Villa leaving it late, but getting the job done against Brighton, who've now won only 2 of the last 14 games. So much to react to. And that's before you even think about this one, where Liverpool are minutes away from ending Sunderland's proud unbeaten home record. High ball inside the penalty area here, and Alisson can claim it, taking it off the head of Brian Brobby. He's not had a difficult save to make, Alisson, in this entire game with 4 minutes to go.
No, he hasn't. They just haven't created those chances. Brobby has been marshalled so well by Konate. Not had anything at all. I just wondered whether Isidore actually had been given a bit more time to see if he could have found something different.
They've still got 2 changes left if they need them. They've got Sirkin and Rigg, Mayenda, O'Nien and Isidore. It's Liverpool going to be calling for the subs next, with Chiesa getting ready. Still going through the warm-up on the near touchline, but it'll be on in a moment. Mundle trying to inject a little bit of tempo to burst past Salah inside the Liverpool penalty area, but the Egyptians dealt with it easily, and then Gomez uses his experience to calmly turn away from Mundle and laid back for goalkeeper Allison, who's clipped it beautifully through the midfield. Salah takes it on the turn, rolls it to Jones. Jones playing Hugo Ekitike in. Liverpool looking for the second that will surely win it. Play back towards Jones. Jones rolling it down to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Wirtz with the effort back, and Jones fires it over the bar.
Yeah, not scored this season, Jones. Chance there with his technical ability to try and whip that into the left-hand top corner. Just over the top, lent back too much whip on it rather than trying to guide it lower.
So Chiesa coming on for Ekitike. What have you made of his performance tonight?
He's just struggled at times to get into the game. He's been a willing runner, that's for sure. A few times he's got himself and Liverpool up the pitch with those darting runs in behind. Had that chance with the header though. He'll look back on that with frustration.
15 goals for him this season, unable to score what would have been his 8th goal in 10 Premier League games. I certainly feel that 2-0 will be an unassailable lead. 2.5 minutes to go. We do expect a lot of stoppage time. There could easily be 7 or 8 minutes to be added. Goal kick to Sunderland as we approach the 89th minute. Robin Roofs with the clearance. Van Dijk should be on the end of it for Liverpool, he is. It's nodded down towards Gravenberg. Salah's got it. Chiesa makes a darting run forward. He's scored 3 times off the bench this season. Gomez now. Back towards Alexis McAllister. With Talksport, Liverpool lead 1-0 on a night where Villa and Burnley and Manchester City have all won. Forest couldn't find a way through against Wolves in a game that ended 0-0 despite nearly 3 dozen shots from Forest. Jones, McAllister, back for Van Dijk. Liverpool just happy to maintain possession at the moment. Passing triangles coming with ease. Chiesa back towards Jones. Some of the fans a little bit frustrated that the side aren't wiring into challenges in an attempt to win it back. When Talby does get a touch, it just goes straight off him and out of play. And Liverpool have a throw, and we're nearly in the 90th minute. Virgil van Dijk clipping a long right-footed ball forward. You can see the markings on the wall spinning in the air as it comes down onto the head of Joe Gomez. Gomez trying to take it on. Wirtz. Gomez still towards the edge of the penalty area, but mopped up by Mukiel. Back from him to Robin Roofs and cleared. Konate winning it at the back for Liverpool. Now McAllister has it. And McAllister poking it forward towards Jones. This is good match management for Liverpool. Just not allowing Sunderland to kick at the moment. They do now win it back. Commentator's curse. Mundle back for Lefay. Well, Lefay trying to get it forward down the right for Talby, but that spell of Sunderland possession only lasted for 5-6 seconds or so, whilst Liverpool have been keeping the ball for 50 or 60 at a time. They have it again. Florian Wirtz. Back to Virgil van Dijk. Sunderland waiting for the ball to go out of play so that Isidore can be introduced. I think Isidore for Diarra is the potential change. Diarra has it now. Back from him to Geertruida as we go into 7 additional minutes. That gets a roar of appreciation from the Sunderland supporters. Geertruida still got 7 minutes of football to be able to salvage this unbeaten record here. High ball swung inside the box, very calmly defended by Gomez, who had a header pretty briskly back at Alisson, but he trusted his goalkeeper. He got his angles right. He was immediately applauded by Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's good defending, but it's just not felt like Sunderland have had it tonight, have they? Haven't had that real energy that we saw certainly against Arsenal here. Whether they've missed Granit Xhaka, probably, but still they've just not created enough, and Van Dijk and particularly Konate have been pretty flawless.
Lefay. Geertruida. Sunderland able to bring the ball forward 15 yards inside Liverpool territory. I saw live on Talksport last night that it ain't over till it's over. Here's Romain Mundle running towards the edge of the penalty area. Low left-footed ball in from him. It's cannoned into Ryan Gravenberg inside the penalty area. Mundle then bringing it forward again, goes down, throws himself at McAllister, who looks over him in fury. And the ball is cleared. It's put out of play for a throw.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is Great dribbling ability, though, Mundell. I thought initially he was fouled, and then just shifts away from Salah, chops away from McAllister, who doesn't actually make a challenge. He just stands there, his feet don't move at all. Don't think you can give that as a penalty.
Rather did McAllister. Isidore on 5 minutes to try and influence proceedings and score what will be his first goal in 15 games. Long throw from Geertruida. He lined up for it, just dropped it short in the end. He gets it back. Right-footed ball clipped in off Ballard's head. And straight out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Allison away to our left. Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1. It would be only Liverpool's second win in 8 Premier League games in 2026. Now we'll complete a North East double for them, having beaten Newcastle comprehensively at Anfield. Liverpool can't get the ball to stick this time as it's worked forward. Sunderland winning it back. Robertson's defended that really well near the edge of his own box. And then Jones in midfield. Oh, majestic. Clever touch back inside. Dragged it back then. Looked for Gravenberg. He can't bring it on. And Sunderland then win it back. But they don't have it back for long because Jones has covered the ground quickly and gets it forward for Mo Salah. 1-0 with the Van Dijk goal. Still the difference between the two sides. Liverpool have led for half an hour here. Curtis Jones, 31 without a goal this season. Back from him to McAllister. And Jones reluctant to get himself into a shooting position. All Liverpool want to do is maintain possession. Isidore has fouled Jones. That will help the cause. And they've got time to load the bodies forward towards the edge of the penalty area. And the West Side faithful in front of us begin to fire away, sensing that there is no way back.
Well, they've just got enough quality to diffuse the game, haven't they? Liverpool. Curtis Jones there with a couple of moments. Lovely little flick, winning the ball back, winning his team a free kick. All those tiny bits of game management.
Allison with another long ball forward. It might bounce ahead of Salah. It does. Ronaldo trying to stop him, and then it was deflected back off Geertruida. Past his goalkeeper, who's at full stretch to try and prevent an own goal. In the end, although Roofs didn't get a touch, didn't need one, it's hit the side netting, goes away for a corner.
Really good from Salah, once again showing that body strength that he has. Once he gets to the side of you, just players seem to bounce off him. Ronaldo this time just not able to get there. Deflection could have taken it in, but it just wastes more time.
Salah takes the corner. He's worked it back for Jones. Jones to Wirtz, to Gomez. Robertson for Van Dijk. The high ball forward, it's headed away. Comes down for Andy Robertson again. Robertson works it up the left-hand touchline where Chiesa will try and take it on and go down towards the corner flag. Ball retention, all that matters for Liverpool with this 1-0 lead. Sunderland win it back. They play it through their own penalty area a little bit dangerously. They've worked it neatly at quite high tempo to get it away, and then Roofs with a beautiful turn. Cruyff's Curtis Jones, but nearly passed it straight to him, having done that hard work. Sunderland then get it away. Sliding challenge, well timed by McAllister. Ball out of play for a Sunderland throw, but there's a Black Cats player down inside his own half, and that's just going to delay the restart for a moment. Siddiqui, is back on his feet. It's going to be okay. Lefay given the signal by him to continue. And the ball's played back towards Ronaldo. They find the goalkeeper who blasts it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Canate climbs high and gets that clear. Chiesa then tries to flash a long ball over the top and get Salah isolated against Geertruida. He can't. And Salah just playing on the shoulder here, wanting one ball played over the top. It's all he's looking for. Liverpool taking a more conservative route. Have it with Robertson. Robertson into space. Curtis Jones taking it on. It's bobbled off him. You can still find Salah! And he's flashed it across the face of goal and just wide.
You can just tell, can't you? He just knows there's going to be that opportunity that can come about on the break. Mo Salah, great little fed pass by Curtis Jones. Weaker right foot, brilliant strike across Roofs. Maybe an inch past the post with the dipping volley.
Yep, an inch or two away from being his first goal in 8 Premier League games, but it It does look as though it will emulate his longest ever barren streak in the Premier League. Only ever gone 8 without a goal once, and that was in his Chelsea days more than 10 years ago. Free kick to Sunderland, and this is the last action of the game. 7 minutes all but up. They will be elongated because of a substitution. Roofs with a long ball forward. Ballard trying to attack it inside the penalty area. He's pulled his man back. And Van Dijk gets a shove of congratulations from Konate. It's a free kick to Liverpool inside their own box, and they believe that that will be that. Low fives all round. They're convinced that the 3 points are theirs.
Yeah, well, as good as the attacking performance was in the first half from Liverpool, defensively in the second half, they've been brilliant as well. It's been the best I've seen Van Dijk and Konate.
And Sunderland's long, proud, unbeaten home record is over. At the 13th time of asking, a visiting side have come here and taken the points. It is the champions with one of their best performances on the road for a while. A Virgil van Dijk header from a set piece, all it took to get them over the line. They held on steadfastly, rejected and denied Sunderland any real opportunities of scoring an equalising goal. Liverpool getting the job done in their second win in 8 games in 2026, but it was richly deserved, despite the fact that the scoreline was only Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, Liverpool in 6, 2 points behind Chelsea in 5th. Those Premier League full-time tonight, then Villa 1, Brighton 0, Palace 2, Burnley 3, Man City 3, Fulham 0, Forest 0, Wolves 0, and here at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1. Dean Ashton, about the goal first of all, the irony is that this unbeaten home run has been broken by a set-piece goal. It's a corner swung in, Virgil van Dijk's head on it. He's been credited with the goal. The Sunderland defender on the line couldn't keep it out. Simple stuff from Liverpool in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the corners were mounting up, weren't they? And they were constantly looking to in-swing towards Van Dijk. Ultimately, from a Sunderland perspective, how is Van Dijk on his own, for the first thing? And I think not enough defenders have reacted, because they think Roofs is going to come and punch, and he just gets bumped into by Endo, and if you leave Van Dijk free, then he'll generally punish you.
All round though, Liverpool, as you've just said in commentary, first half they attacked really well, they dominated. I mean, the stats were phenomenal for a 0-0, and then second half they took the lead and then defended really well. I thought Konate was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, him and Van Dijk, but particularly Konate against Brobbey was... he literally didn't put a foot wrong against him in terms of every single challenge that he had to make. He got it absolutely spot on, and I think they understood how difficult it would be to come here and get a victory, and I think they showed that respect with the way that they defended after they got themselves ahead. I think they felt as if it was maybe just going to take that one goal, and they'd maybe talked about that, and then just kind of sat in, looked to counter-attack, and did a really, really professional defensive job in the end to get the 1-0 victory.
When you think about the teams that have come here and not gone away with a victory, Arsenal and City among them, Liverpool have come here and got a victory. And even though, it's not going to make many highlights reels, the action from tonight, but I think it might go down for Arne Slot as one of his most satisfying victories.
I think so. It'd be interesting to see what he says after the game, but, it's pretty faultless against a really good team. Not only have they been defensively brilliant here, but actually in attack they've shown they can hurt lots of the opposition, and scoring 2 against Arsenal. I think he'd be really, really pleased with probably the whole 90 plus minutes. I think that's where he's been looking for that consistency, and I tell you what, they've really taken advantage of a point each for Manchester United and Chelsea in terms of that top 4, top 5, and making sure that they're still in touch.
As for Sunderland, I feel a little bit sad that we've been here to witness the end of this unbeaten home record. There's now only Bromley in the top 4 divisions, top of League 2, who are unbeaten at home in the 92. And it's a sad moment. It's been an incredible run at home. The fans were getting really impatient when they were getting on the backs a little bit, which surprised me. But it is a sad evening for Sunderland. But listen, they're not going to be in any kind of danger whatsoever. Just kind of wanted them to go the whole season unbeaten at home.
Yeah, it would have been incredible, of course. But when you're up against this sort of quality, I was surprised that there was the sort of tetchiness of some of the supporters, considering some of the performances that have been given this season, certainly here from their side. But I guess it is that style. If you're going to play that way, and they didn't even look like really scoring tonight. And I think that's probably the frustration, is it felt like Liverpool were going to win, and once they got the goal, that Sunderland were never going to score, and they were almost resigned to it from that goal onwards.
And any Sunderland fans listening to this, I just want to remind them, if they're feeling a little bit frustrated and a little bit annoyed with the Sunderland performance tonight, just a few years ago Mickey Gray was crying on my shoulder at Bolton as Sunderland were beaten 6-0 in the third tier of English football. Things have moved on a little bit. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
So, Dean Ashton, former England striker, who are you going for?
I think you'll agree. I'm going to go for Ibrahima Konate. I thought he was just so good, considering how difficult a time Robbie has given lots of defenders, Premier League defenders. And basically every battle he had was against Konate. He just wore him down. He gave him absolutely nothing. He won everything. And even when you just thought Robbie was in to get a shot, that foot would come out and make the challenge. Absolute flawless performance from Konate, and I can't give it to anyone else.
No, totally agree with you there. That's Ibrahima Konate, Here For It hero, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.